Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Daf Yomi Ketuvoth Mem Chet Amid Aleph. The Gemara continues the discussion of Share Ksurut Anotam, what exactly a man's obligations are towards his wife. Discusses some of the details of intimacy, that there should be physical closeness between the two of them, even before the act of intimacy itself. And it continues this discussion. And we discussed the various shitot, what is midoraita, what is midrabanan, in the previous shir, mem zayin and bet. Just let add on an interesting ma'aser shahaya. Once a Talmud told Rav Hutner Zatzal and Chaim Berlin that he's going to get married. So of course he wished him a mazel tov, and then he said that. So how are you planning on fulfilling your obligation towards your wife, for sustaining her? So he said, I have bitachon in Hashem. So according to the story, Rav Hutner said, bitachon b'Hashem, I'm asking how you're fulfilling your chiyuv, your obligation. He said, I have bitachon. He says, well, you have an obligation to pay her, to sustain her. What is the idea that you're going to go ahead at bitachon? You have bitachon, you're going to put on tefillin, you put on tefillin. You have bitachon that you're going to go ahead and light Shabbos candles, you light Shabbos candles. You don't have bitachon. So here too, the message he was trying to send was very, very clear. There's an obligation that a man has towards his wife, and he has to understand it's his responsibility. If, let's say, she says, I want to work, I want to forego the financial obligations that you have towards me, and I want you to be able to sit and learn for a couple of years, and then we'll see how things are going, children, and how I feel, if I'm tired or not. But for now, at least the beginning, I want to go ahead. This is what I want to do. I want to sustain us so that you could sit and learn. I have a job. I've prepared for a job. I have professional training. So there, that's a category of being mevater. She's giving up her rights, her monetary rights from the husband. And that's fine. She certainly is allowed to, as the post can discuss. And they could go on that way for years, depending on the situation. There's so many variables involved, depending on her, how she's feeling, her spirit, how he's learning, how he's progressing. Is she happy with the children, with the job? Are the children involved? Yeah, a lot of variables. But the importance is that he understands, the husband understands, he has an obligation. According to the Torah, according to the Rambam might say it's a midrabanan mamonos. Either way, an obligation is an obligation. He must understand it is an obligation to go ahead and sustain her and support her, according to all that is written in the Ketuvoth, in the Gemara Ketuvoth, in the Rambam, in the Shulchan Aruch. And yeah, there might be a situation where she is mevater, she gives up on some of the obligations, but it's important to have a right framework. Every chassan should have his framework before he goes into marriage. Shalom.